Hello, this is Wolfen at Old Wolf Gaming. Decided to do a little video for some content on how to basically... I know there's a lot of guys out there, a lot of folks out there that are trying to wonder if it's been a month and a half since Shadowlands have come out. Should I even bother getting into WoW? I've actually got a couple of friends that are actually thinking about it, and that was one of the questions they asked me. And Shadowlands is actually probably one of the better expansions to get into. I mean, really, honestly, every expansion is fine. It's like, yeah, you're going to play catch-up, but it's... especially if you're brand new to the game, going to start off casual, anytime you start is a fine time to start. But Shadowlands, because of the catch-up mechanisms in it, actually is not bad at all. I mean, I wasted my time during launch. I leveled 5 characters to 60, I think, and I'm now just working on my main character. And yeah, I think he's up to 19 renown. So yeah, I've almost caught up to where everyone else is. So yes, I'm a little behind on Soul Ash because there's really not a way to catch up on Soul Ash, which Soul Ash is. We'll get into that. But everything else, it's not been that hard. But I thought I'd, start from the beginning and just go through the basics of what to expect. So, let's say you're brand new to the game. You've never even made a character before. You don't have an account, brand new account. Or let's say you have an old account, but you haven't played in a while. So let's say a couple expansions. There's going to be a couple things you do, but let's go over if you're a totally brand new member and you've never played this game before. So you make your character. In this case, I just made a basic rogue, Worgen rogue, just because it's the first thing that popped up, and I thought he looked cool. So you get in here, name him. I highly suggest for your very first time, use Exile's Reach. Gilneas City is the normal starting zone from expansions past, which basically the Worgens start at. Exile's Reach is the new, basically, starting zone, starting in Shadowlands. I mean, you could choose either one. Exile's Reach, though, does a really good job of explaining different things of how to play the game. The old system kind of does that. It has some pop-ups and all that, but I think Exile's Reach does a much better job of this. So I highly suggest choosing Exile's Reach. You should be right around level 10 at the end. And then, if you're a brand new player, you're going to have to play BFA, which is Battle for Azeroth expansion, which is our last expansion. Because you're leveling through it, it's not that big. It's not that bad. You'll go from 10 to 50 in Battle for Azeroth. After that, then you'll go into Shadowlands. Gaining experience now. Since you're a brand new player, you will not know anything about Heritage Armor. Or let's say you watched an old video from past expansions of, oh yeah, get your Heritage Armor, join a guild where you can get your Heritage Armor. No more. There's Heritage Armor still there, but it doesn't give you an XP bonus, which is one way that people leveled quickly to get to the new expansion for old players. I've done this a couple of times now since Shadowlands has come. I did this during the pre-patch. I've taken a character from 1st to 50 before Shadowlands launched, just during the pre-patch. I think I was actually leveling faster with this new system without the Heritage Armor than I did before. One thing you want to look at is look on the calendar, and anytime Darkmoon Fair is up, you want to go out to the Darkmoon Fair, which, if you're on Alliance, will be in Stormwind. There'll be an entrance outside of Stormwind, down outside of a little town called Goldshire. If you are in Horde, you'll need to go to Thunderbluff, and it's off the mesas down in the valley. You'll see it on your map. or just ask chat. But that gives you another XP bonus on top of just the regular. So that will help speed you up. Also, especially in the old lands, even BFA, turn on war mode. If it gets hairy and someone's being not nice and killing you, turn it off for a while, wait for them to get bored, then turn it back on. And most, depends on your server, on Horde or Alliance, who's basically doing more PvP, world PvP, or has war mode turned on. But the least amount you'll get is 10%. If your server has, let's say, a bunch of Horde with war mode on and very few Alliance, you could have up to 25 or more % to help you level. When Shadowlands first came out, Alliance, Horde, and BFA was running my server as far as war mode went. So when Shadowlands came out, our first 2 weeks had 25% on leveling. So it was like, boom, that going through the new content with war mode on. And the thing was we had 25%, but because there were so many of us with war mode on, Horde started turning their war mode off. So, so we actually outnumbered them. I actually tried to level. My first 60 in Shadowlands was my Horde character. I had to turn my war mode off, and you would get war mode on. You would turn war mode on with. Let me get out of this because we're not going to go any further with that. Let me bring up Draj here. Use my 60 and show you where you would turn on war mode at. But it's your talents area, which you won't see your talents area if you're a brand new player until level 15, or no, level 20. So I believe level 20 is where you're going to get that. So either level 15 or level 20. So until then, you're just going to get the regular whatever bonus you have. But I'm pretty sure. Let me see here. I'm pretty sure it's level 20 where that turns on at. Because that's the way it was in the old, and they just never changed it. Even though you get your first talents at 15. So you would go to basically the little icon down here that looks like a targeting. But specializations and talents. Go to your talents. And here's where you would turn war mode on. Currently I have mine off because really there's not a whole lot that it gives me after 60. I mean, maybe a little bit of gold, but that's a gold and, you know, quest rewards, whatever. But it's not really worth some of the pain and aggravation. When I want a PvP, I'll turn it back on. So let me get back to here. So let's say you've now leveled your first character to 50, but you decide that you want to make an alt. Now that you've already leveled your character to 50, now you can choose Exile's Reach, or you can right off the bat just choose, let me go down here, one of my low level guys, to level 8. Plaguelands. Yeah, we'll go to Orgrimmar here. Felmeet, my warlock, that I need to level at some point. But you'll go to Chromie. Chromie is this little gnome that you'll learn while you play. Chromie's in charge of the timekeeping. She'll give you. Let me turn this off. So yeah, so I'm actually still at Chromie. So Emissary of the Bronze Dragonflights, this on your map, if you're in Orgrimmar, is right outside the Orgrimmar embassy. It'll be the same thing in Stormwind for Alliance. Will be outside the Stormwind embassy. Just look on your map and you'll see it. It's where after Exile's Reach, it's where you get dumped off at. But you'll see Chromie sitting there. You'll be able to click on Chromie. And
done this before.
oh, right now I'm on a quest. Well, that sucks.
So nice to see you.
Let me see if I can find something else here. I didn't realize I was on a quest. That's because it's going to send me to battle for Azeroth. Let's see if my other guy... But that's where you would go. And then you could choose basically any expansion you want after your first time through. After you get your 50 the first time. So let me see if Grumbleshot can choose. And this will also let me show you on the map where Chromie is. But with Chromie, once you get through Exile's Reach, or you just want to start off at level 1 and just go with it, you will... This is for when I do arenas. Get a little mount. Chromie should be down here. Oh, good. I'm actually with this. Yeah, I'm on this quest. Good. Yeah, I leveled him and then got right in. So, you'll come down to Chromie, which, for Alliance, Stormwind Embassy, she's next to this tree. So, you'll click on her. And Adventurers wanted Chromie, select a timeline. So you want to do that first. So you can pick Cataclysm, Portal to Outland, Fall of the Lich King, Winds of Pandaria, Iron Horde, Legion. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to go back to vanilla. Cataclysm is the closest you're going to... Actually, Cataclysm isn't even going to be close. What you could do is you could portal to Outland and go back to the old lands and level up that way, if you so chose. And everything will match up with you. But it kind of bites that you can't go, that it doesn't have a choice. I guess actually the other way you could do it though is you just don't choose. You know, you'll choose this, you know, Adventurers wanted Chromie's Call. And that's it. Then you don't do anything else. This is if there's a specific expansion that you missed. So let's just say you're starting now. You've missed all these expansions. This was our first, that was our second, that was our third, that was our fourth, that was our fifth, that's our sixth. BFA's our seventh. That one you would end up being able to just choose. You would actually get a quest. I think now that actually would send you, like if a little bit more I go on here, it would give me a quest to choose that one. But that's how you'll be able to see the old expansions and level through them. And this new way lets you experience all the expansions. How it used to be before Shadowlands was if you had to level through all these expansions, but you would barely spend any time in one zone. You would get to the first zone and you would level out of it before by the time you would get to the max level of that expansion before you even got to the second zone. So, or to your second zone of that expansion. So you just never experience those expansions. This new way lets you experience the whole expansion. So, which is kind of cool. So, like for me, I didn't experience... Actually, I'll take it back. I actually did experience Pandaria, but only at the end of Pandaria. I came back like a month before Pandaria, before Draenor came out. So I actually did get to do that, and I've experienced all the other expansions. But for others, they might have taken a break during an expansion. This would let them go back and experience it, and experience all of it, and get to see all the different leveling that happened during that expansion. So that's how, if you are a new player, how you would go about things. If you're an old player coming back, you know, finish, you know, pick your zone, or just go to BFA to go to the Mage Tower, and you should be able to find Portal to Borealis or Portal to Zandalar, and be able to experience and just go through those two zones, get it done, get to 50, experience a new one, and then I would suggest then like start a new character or whatever. to experience the actual expansion. Now for Shadowlands, let's say you've done all the expansions, you were 50, took a long break, decided not to come back for Shadowlands right off the beginning, but you're wondering, should I even buy? I mean, the game's been out for a month and a half, I'm behind everybody. No, you're not. Draj, he's my main. I leveled like four or five other characters to 60 also along with him. I didn't really start trying to play catch up with him until last week, and that was last Tuesday. So I've gone from renown 9 to I am now 19. Just this week alone. Just between the weekly quests for that you get for none, you get 2, plus some other ones. You'll get your you'll get a daily, you'll get a PvP one, you'll get a dungeon one. You will catch up very quickly, so don't worry about playing catch up. The only place, like I said earlier, the only place where it's going to be harder to play catch up is Torghast, but that's not going to be that. It'll be a little bit of a pain. I'm actually experiencing that right now because I've barely done any Torghast. I've done it, but not to the extent of I'm doing this every week. This expansion, they didn't want, like with Battle for Azeroth, there wasn't a cap on anything. So people could just keep grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding, and feel like if they stopped, they would get behind. Shadowlands, they put caps on stuff. So you're not, I mean, you can go out and get all the anima you want, which is another resource for us. You've got 3 main resources in Shadowlands. Anima, which is the main one. Soul Ash and Stygia. Stygia you get from the mall, which we'll go through that. Soul Ash you get from Torghast, which is used to make your legendaries. Soul Ash you get from the mall and you use with Venari to buy different things, which will also help you in Torghast. And then Anima is for everything else. It's to build your conduits, to build your sanctums, to heal your followers, to send your followers on missions. And you can just keep piling that up and keep burning it here and there. Every week you're going to get a quest to get 1,000 anima. And with that quest gives you a renown point. So that all works. So that all builds up with each other. I'm actually at the point now where it's Friday, and other than dailies here and there, I really just got Torghast, or maybe do some dungeons and like. But for PvP, I've already done the weekly. So for PvP would just be building up honor for gear. Dungeons would be the same thing, doing that to get anima to get gear. Just depends on which route you want to go on how you want to gear yourself. So from the beginning, so you get your level 50, you come into the game. First place you're going to go to is the mall. It's a short little, takes maybe about 30 minutes to get through before you get to here, which is Orbis. This is the main hub for this expansion so far. I'm going to guess for the whole expansion. Kind of like how Dalaran or Borealis or Zandalar was for Battle for Azeroth. Dalaran's been a few times, a couple of times now. Let's see, Outland was Shatrath. So this is the main hub for this expansion. So you'll get here after you go through the mall. The mall is just a series of following quests, finding some people, all that kind of stuff. You're trying to escape from it. It's pretty cut and dry. When you first get through the mall, you should be around. Make sure before you get in the mall, turn on war mode. You're not going to have to worry about any PvP. At least I haven't. All the guys I've sent through the mall, I've never been attacked. So I don't even think it puts anyone in there with you to get attacked. I can't verify that, but I've sent at least 10 or 12 characters through them all so far, and they've all had war mode on, and none of them have ever been attacked. So, and like I said, I don't even realize, I don't think I've ever saw, the only time I ever saw a horde with my alliance characters is if I forgot war mode was off. Because once you get in, it's kind of hard to get it back on. So you can leave and get back in, but yeah, they turn it back on, but it's a half an hour. The problem is with war mode on, you should be 51 by the time you get out. If you don't have war mode on, you're probably not going to be 51. You might almost be 51, but not yet. You'll probably have to do a couple of beginning quests here for the campaign before you get 51. But yeah, definitely try to keep your war mode on. For the campaign, once you get... I would highly suggest try war mode. And if it becomes a burden, just turn it off. Because it's really not worth... Only time if it's really worth it is if you've got a 25% bonus. But if you've got a 25% bonus, it means that the other side has a bunch of people in war mode and are probably out in the world doing things and are going to gank you. So, if you run into issues, turn it off, go about your business. If it's not a problem, then keep it on. That's how I normally do it. Is I'll keep it, like I'll turn it on, keep it on until I run into some issues of some ganking from 60s. And then I'll just go to my rest area and turn it off. And then come back. And then I'm good. So, for your first time through, you've got to do the campaign. The biggest problem with the campaign, if you have war mode on, is going to be that you're probably going to out-level the zones. You go to Bastion first. You can't leave Bastion until 54, but you also have to finish the campaign quest in Bastion before you can leave. With war mode on, that most likely means you're going to be 55 before you leave, which means you're going to be fighting stuff 55, sometimes 56, especially if you have a lot of rest XP. Some things are going to start turning green to you. And especially if you have war mode on, go through them all, get 51. There was stuff that was actually already green to me when I could hit 52 quick. And I was still in this, like, the first set of campaign quests. So just realize with the campaign, you are going to have issues where you might run into out-leveling the zone. But you're going to go Bastion, then you're going to go Maldraxxus. Maldraxxus is 55, 56. Then you're going to go Ardenwald. Ardenwald is 57, 58. And then you're going to go to Revendreth, 59, 60. Once you get done with that, your next character through is going to be, you'll be able to choose Threads of Fate. There's two sides of this. Campaign seems to be faster. I was annoyed with campaign because, one, I was out leveling zones and I was out leveling my gear. You're not going to have that problem. Before the patch came out, they did this run of things through, basically, Ice Crown had a bunch of rares that you could attack. So you were getting 100, 110 gear. The gear you're going to get from Bastion, if you go through the campaign, or really anywhere, well, if you go through the Threads of Fate, but let's say you go through the campaign, is going to be 93. You're not going to start getting better gear, or up to... I wasn't able to get gear that matched or was better than what I already had until about 93, until about 53, almost 50, sometimes 54. You're not going to run into that problem. All your gear is going to be better than what you have. So at least you're going to have that. So you've done it, but like I said, you're now on your second character. Threads of Fate is going to let you... everything's going to keep at your level, so you're not going to out-level the zone. What most likely is going to happen is you're going to hit 60 before finishing up your last Covenant area. So what Threads of Fate does is you pick your Covenant right off the bat. which is why you can't do it the first time through, because you don't really know your choice. So the campaign lets you experience all the other covenants, which is a good thing, because you get to see your covenant abilities and things like that, and see, okay, yeah, I like this covenant, I like the feel of it. I don't like this covenant, don't like the feel of it. Threads of Fate for your second characters on just lets you jump ahead and jump ahead. The other nice thing about Threads of Fate, one, everything stays up with you. Two, by the time you get done with all of the Covenant areas quests, you'll have a little series of quests for each Covenant. You'll be 6 renown by the time you get to 60. With the campaign, you won't even get to start working on your renown until after you get done with the campaign and hit 60. So that's my main reason why I like Threads of Fate, is I get to start off at least with 6, almost, and quickly to 7 renown. Which, another point, when you're leveling, I highly suggest doing random battlegrounds. I know some people hate them. I actually like PvP, so it was fine for me. Here's why I say this. You will build up honor, and when you hit 60, the PvP gear vendor, you can buy the PvP gear. The PvP gear starts at 154. So if you're doing PvP the whole way through while you're leveling, like doing, 2 to 10 a day, I highly suggest at least getting the daily the daily epic battleground and random battleground. Get your first 2 wins. You get your first wins on each one of those, because that's more of an honor boost than after that. But you will have a lot of honor built up for when you hit 60. If you do it right, you can basically outfit yourself with all 154, and maybe enough honor left over to start leveling that gear. There's one cool thing. Let me take you over here. I think, yeah, we're over here. So while we're on this category, you'll be able to do the same thing with your Covenant also. You get gear with your Covenant also. But here's your vendor. On the map, he is here, the Enclave. But all this gear is, oh, I'm sorry, 158, not 154. So, and you will be able to equip yourself with PvP gear that's 158. You're not going to have that leveling to 60 just from the PvE gear. So I highly suggest doing PvP, even if you hate doing PvP. Just do it just to get the 158, because that will let you have better gear for dungeons once you hit 60, and then start building up your dungeon gear. But just do your, go choose down here.
Good show.
Player versus player. Like, I haven't done mine today. So yeah, for my starting, it's 450, 65 conquest, 340 conquest. And as you build up your conquest, you can actually buy better gear that starts at 200, which even some of the, you're not even going to get that stuff from raids. So, I mean, dungeons. So, now once you get your gear, once you get 158, you're then able to come over here and upgrade it. So this is like 177. As you can see, I've been upgrading myself. I need to actually upgrade this, and this to 184. All the rest of this stuff is 184, or in my case, on some of these, 200 from conquest stuff. So yeah, this is how I've been equipping myself. This is how I've been equipping myself, and it's much easier, especially if you don't really like doing dungeons, which I'm on. This is how I've been getting gear, and I've been loving it. But like I said, I enjoy PvP. Even the frustrating times of doing PvP, it's still a very nice way to start off and having the equipment to be able to do this. Because my first character, I didn't do that, and I got to 60, and my gear level was still terrible. It was still, I think it was like one... I don't even think it was over 120. And so, and I was having to go to 60, and all of a sudden I'm 60, having to fight 60 level NPCs, and was having a little bit of an issue. I actually had to stop at, actually no, I'll take that back. I had to stop at 59, my second playthrough actually on Draj. I learned it because I learned it with my Horde character that it messed me up. Because Draj, I also did the campaign. His gear was so bad that I was dying. They send you to the mall. I was dying to a character that I had to kill for a quest, all because my gear was too low. Once I went to the auction house, bought some 131 gear, and boom, I killed him first shot. I think before that I had died to him like 3 times. So the only difference was my gear was terrible, and that was just because I wasn't getting anything from the campaign. But that's why I suggest doing the PvP all the way through, just to build up your honor. So once you hit 60, you can go to that vendor, buy really good gear, and set off for 60 in a flash. Let's see. So let's go to the mall and Torghast. So let's go over here. Here are the 2 other areas that you will be, other than the Shadowlands, Bastion, Ardenwald, Revendreth, Maldraxxus. Here's your other main area, or your other 2 main areas. You'll jump down through here. There'll be a quest to send you here and to have you do this. So don't worry about having to remember it. You will get a quest eventually to make you do this. So this is the mall. You've got this nice little thing up here. This is called the Eye of the Jailer. For everything you do in the mall, between doing quests, killing bosses, killing just regular NPCs, this is going to increase. Once it gets to here, you're basically maxed out for the day. And once you get to here, you've only got a certain amount of time you start taking damage. You only got a certain amount of time to get back to here, because every time you die, the mall is where you get your Stygia from. Stygia you use to go down to this little guy down here, Veneri, to buy cool stuff. And a lot of this stuff is going to help you in what's called Torghast. But a lot of this stuff will help you with certain things in Torghast to help you level through to help you get through all the levels on Torghast. But how you get your Stygia is by doing stuff out here in the mall. And like, see that, like right there? That's one of the things that happens when you don't make it out to, when you don't make it back to this safe zone. Is, those guys will start picking you up. I think it's these guys. Yeah, so one of these guys is, yeah, they'll start picking you up and then dropping you, trying to kill you. And every time you die, you lose Stygia. So yeah, so once you get this maxed, you want to get back here as fast as possible. Luckily, I'm a druid, so when it picked me up, I just changed into cat, and I was actually okay, and I didn't die, or I didn't take a bunch of damage. But yeah, my one of my other characters that happened to, it was like, okay, that sucked. So, but you know, so here's Veneri, there's the mall. You'll have a quest to help you through all this, and I'll do other videos to explain this more. I'm just trying to go through all the little basic things that you're going to experience here. This is the gate to Torghast. So you go to Torghast, and you'll come through here, and you'll see up here, you'll see a bunch of little gates. Only 2 gates are open a week, but you've got a series of quests that you'll end up doing. There's, I think, 8 quests from Bolvar, who used to be the Lich King, or I guess technically is still the Lich King. And then that'll open up Twisted Corridors, but you got to finish his quest line, which is there's about 8 quests. I'm actually on 3. I didn't realize this, so I'm behind on that. So I've got to, and it's actually this information for a price. So I've got to go through one of these other gates of Torghast and talk to people to get this quest to move along. So yeah, I've got this is actually one of the things I've got to be doing. I'll probably be doing stream tonight is this, because I need to catch this up. Because I want it. Twisting Corridors is every level of Torghast. You've got your different levels. Each one has 6 levels of a floor. It's a little weird, because it's like they call them levels, but they're not floors. So it's like, or it's like here's a floor, like first floor, second floor, but each of those floors has levels. Regular Torghast, each one of those has 6. It takes you about an hour to get through. So Torghast is the one thing in here. It's as a single player, and it's probably the same for even if you group up. Is you're going to have to dedicate an hour to it, because if you leave, you don't. You don't get your soul ash until the very end, until you kill the 6th boss on the 6th level of that floor. So you really have to dedicate an hour to that to get it done. Twisting Corridors is 18, so I haven't got to it yet. So I'll probably do a video once I get to it of how to do things, because I did some testing. I've done some testing. Yeah, if you go into a regular Torghast level floor and you come out, if you didn't finish it all the way through to the 6th boss, it starts over. You got to start completely over, and which means you didn't get your soul ash at the end. But that's the basics of Torghast. You'll have quests that's going to explain a lot of this stuff to you. So. Your covenants, you've got 4 different covenants, and they're very basic. I'll actually take you out here to this area. This will be one of the first areas that when you do your campaign the first time, this is where you get sent to as soon as you get done with the first time you go through the mall. Well, when you're trying to escape from the mall, you'll get sent here to people out here. And then Bolvar will show up and all that. But here's your four covenants. So this is Bastion. Unfortunately, I'm already joined a covenant, so it's not going to show me everything. So, but Bastion's brief description of Bastion is your servers. They're the ones who give of themselves for the betterment of the world. Ardenwald is your nature place, very night elfish. It's basically where the Fae reside on this plane of death. Then you've got Revendreth. Revendreth are basically vampires. They pull your blood out, which has your anima. So it's kind of fun doing a worgen. So it's werewolves versus vampires. And then Maldraxxus is skeletons, constructs, abominations, undead, things like that. I've got a quest here because I was going to move to this guy, and then I decided to go with Ardenwald. So he's still got a quest for my second part, which I'll never do. So, but those are your 4 covenants. The first time you run through with your campaign, you're going to run through all 4 of those zones. You're going to meet everyone for those 4. Well, not everyone, but the main players of those 4 zones, and you'll get the feel of those 4 zones. So don't worry about it as far as this. That was just a real quick synopsis of those areas. The campaign will take you through all those, and you'll have a much better understanding. We just went to the mall. We just went to Torghast. I keep on saying Torghast, and it's Torghast. Your renown. This is what feeds a lot of your stuff. So you see, right now I'm 19. Like your first renown, you'll end up getting. So for the queen, it's just you join that covenant. That's it. Your second one, you get 2%. This will give you, you start getting your soul binds at your third. You'll start getting companions at 4, and so on. You'll be able to click through these and find out, what each one's going to be coming up. Like my next one is my next chapter of my campaign. Then I'll get more access to the soul binds for the actual guy that I'm actually using right now. 22 is going to be 22 is important to me because that's where I'm going to be able to bump my gear from 184 to almost 200. I have to be renowned 22 to be able to do that. So right now 184 is my top. I've got to wait till later, till this. So actually, while I'm talking about this, let me get on a flight to Ardenwald so I can show you at least that Covenant area real quick. So while we're talking about that, we've gone over the Soul Ash, Stygia, Anima, and the game will explain this better to you.
You are welcome here.
In the end, depends on how you play. If you're wanting to be a, mythic dungeons, raids, all that kind of good stuff, then Soul Ash is going to be very, very important. If you're just going to be a casual player that really doesn't care about dungeons or anything like that, Anima is probably going to be more important to you. As a casual player, though, Soul Ash is going to be a little important to you. One, because you're at least going to want to get one legendary. So that's going to take a little bit of time. Not that much time, but it's going to take you a little bit. Maybe, probably less than a week of going into Torghast. For higher gear, like 234, which I think is the highest right now, it's going to take you like 5,000 Soul Ash. And you don't get a whole lot each run. So, so I got my first legendary, so it was like 1,300 Soul Ash or something like that. Which you actually get that doing the quests for Torghast in the beginning, so it's not that bad. It just takes you about a week to build that up, because you'll get a quest for like 1,500 Soul Ash from the Runekeeper, which I forgot to show you where the Runekeeper is. But once you go into Torghast, take a right. There'll be a gate that you'll have a quest to open it up, and you'll go in. You'll find the Runekeeper, but he'll give you a quest right from the start of collect me 1,500 Soul Ash. That Soul Ash you'll be able to use or maybe it's 1,000, but you'll be able to use that to build your first legendary. And for most players, like my wife, that's as far as she'll probably ever go. For me, because of PvP, I need to get in there more to build better gear, because I actually have a bracer that's 235 that I made. But I need like 5,000 Soul Ash, so yeah, I've got a while before I can do that. So here's Ardenwald's main hub. So what we're doing, soul bindings. So let me go over to the soul bind guy. So you're going over here. You've got some others, like you'll have quests that are going to show you where everything's at. But I wanted to get you over here to show you where the soul binds are. Like, I've only got two folks right now. So you'll send it to your Forge of Bonds, or whatever one's. These are your soul bonds. Through leveling, you'll find world quests that'll give you these. Torghast. When you kill your last boss in Torghast, you're the 6th boss on whatever floor you're on. You can sometimes get one. You can get one of these for. Oh, actually, no. I'll take that back. You can get these. The Runekeeper stuff is where you can get that, which is. Show you this. There's things that you can get that you give to the Runekeeper that you add to these. I think actually I might have one in here. This thing. Yeah. So this. Okay, maybe I don't. I thought I had one. I thought I had something to be able to take to the Runekeeper. I must have already done that. But they'll be orange like this, and you'll be able to take these to your guy. This is actually the shroud. Oh wow, that's a shroud from BFA, I think. Yeah, reduces insanity. Yeah, forget that. Never putting that sucker back on. But your soul binds, you'll get these through world quests, through dungeons, things like that. You'll come in, you'll put them in, and then you'll be able to use them on this tree. Wowhead, Icy Veins, two good sites that gives you a little bit better explanation of what a lot of people are doing. PvP leaderboard, if you're into the PvP, you can see what other people have been choosing as their top ones. So those are a couple of sites that you want to take a look at. What else we got here? I'm just kind of looking at my notes. Renown. Like I'm showing you where like I would deposit mine, but every area is going to have a different place to deposit your anima. Like here's my guy, but Sanctum upgrades. But I think they're all called Sanctum upgrades, just different guys for each covenant. But you'll go here, you'll deposit your anima. Like right now, I've got like 969, but I actually need 1.5 to get this. I've got these three. I need to get that, but I burnt a bunch of anima healing my followers. I'll take you out to my followers, or my mission table. It's called something else now, command table. It's a lot like the mission tables that we've had since Draenor. I think Draenor was the first one. But so you'll have your missions. It's a little different now because you can actually watch the fight, and it's a little different on how you do everything. I'm not going to waste your guys' time with this because you're not here to see this. So just going to end it. Go to rewards, pick that up. But this will give me anima that I can then throw into the Sanctum upgrade. So yeah. So but now I can take those and dump them in. Do this later. I think that's about it. This is my first attempt at one of these kind of videos, so this is probably not my best attempt. But I've had my wife ask me some of these things. We've got two friends that might join later on that have been asking me, is it a waste of time for us to join in, a month from now or so? It's like, no. This new expansion is very new person friendly and very old person coming back. It's very alt friendly. This is a very good expansion so far. When I highly recommend folks that still have a love for World of Warcraft, but have been burnt out, especially if you were burnt out from a Battle for Azeroth. I was actually okay with Battle for Azeroth, but I'm also more of a casual player. I did the dungeons, but I didn't raid. And I didn't really do any mythic dungeons. I would do the dungeons just to see. I like seeing the world. But other than that, I get my gear other ways. So, and now with PvP, I thoroughly enjoy being able to get my gear from PvP, and it's on par with the mythic guys. So their gear is a little bit better, but not that much better. Raids is a little different, but even raids, the gear's not that bad compared to what they got. So, but that will be about it. So if you, hopefully this video helps you decide on some stuff. If you want to come back or not. I'm sure there's other videos out there that from people of YouTubers who have been doing this for years that are much better at it. I highly suggest looking at some of their videos. I thought I'd put this out because I really hadn't seen a whole lot on these. So I thought, especially, I haven't seen them since it's been out. So I thought about, the game's been out for a month and a half. From a casual person's view, which most new people and even old folks coming back are going to start off that way. They might go further and be, you know, raiders, Mythic Plus guys, major PvP people. But in the beginning, it's going to be casual because they're still trying to learn the ropes. So, from a casual person's view, this expansion is very friendly on catching up and stuff like that. So, come on in. The water's fine. But on that note, we'll call that a vid. And if you like the video, give it a like. If you want to see more from the channel, subscribe to the channel. It's free, and you'll see updates when when I do new videos. I stream 4 to 5 nights a week. So, and I stream to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So they'll be out there. But the videos will always show up on YouTube and they'll always show up on Facebook. So after the stream is done. But hope you guys have a great day, and hope to see you in Shadowlands. Have a great night. Bye.